Tonight on Lowdown, we take a look back at a few things that happened before break, like the Trading Moon powwow.
We'll also go back to talk to Grant Curtis, a Hollywood producer, and much, much more.
So sit back, relax, and join us for another look at UCM here on Lowdown. Hello, and welcome back to Lowdown, a show by the students of the University of Central Missouri. I'm your new co-host, Brock Masters.
And I'm Ranjanae Hill. Thanks for joining us this evening as we continue to delve into all the cool things happening here at UCM.
Let's start the new year off right by sitting down with UCM alum and Hollywood producer Grant Curtis.
We'll also go to the MLK Scholarship Dinner held here at UCM. Let's take a look.
My name is Grant Curtis, and I'm a producer. I produce movies.
Last semester, the University of Central Missouri's Communication Department held a gala for UCM's own Grant Curtis to come and share his experiences as a Hollywood producer. We managed to sit down with Grant and ask what sparked his interest in the glamour of producing films.
You know, I wanted to become a Hollywood producer because I like to tell stories, and I like to tell stories with other people. And as you guys know, a Hollywood crew is 50 people, 150, 250. It's a group of individuals that come together around a story and put it on the screen. And as a kid, as a college student, I always thought that would be a great profession to try to pursue. I did, and so far it's worked out.
So, what brings a Hollywood producer all the way from Los Angeles, California to Warrensburg, Missouri?
I'm speaking at UCM tonight as part of a fundraiser for Hendricks Hall, but also today was my last class that I taught. I taught History of American Film for the Mass Communication Department. This was our last day of class before finals, and so I flew back from Los Angeles to be in class, to talk to the kids, to talk to the students, to tell them how much I appreciated teaching them and what an honor it was to be back in school and to try to pass on what knowledge I do have to them.
We asked Grant how UCM was able to help prepare him for his current career as a Hollywood producer.
One of the things that UCM gave me was practical experience. When I was here, I worked with a couple of professors, Keith Mellinger and John Graves, who both worked in the entertainment industry previously, and they were just able to work with me and help me craft the skills, the writing, the communication skills that I needed to make it in the industry.
We also asked what his thoughts are on attending smaller schools.
Whether the university is big or small, I'm a big proponent of what the particular student brings to the table. I think that's what any student takes away from whatever university they go to, is what they crafted their own experience to be and what they learned while there for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever your path is. I really think that academia is all about what you bring to it yourself. It's not about the mascot, or it's not about the school crest. It's about the person sitting in that seat for those 4 years. So I think whether you go to UCM or any other school across the country, it's what you make of it.
In closing, we asked Grant about his experience as a professor at his alma mater and any advice for young students wanting to pursue a career in the entertainment industry.
The one thing I would say is I hope to have the opportunity to do it again. I grew up in Warrensburg. I believe in the talent that comes out of this area and this region, and anything I'm able to do in the future to ever try to raise up that talent pool. It's been an honor this semester and hopefully for many semesters to come. The best piece of advice I can give to any student is intern where you can. I don't think there's any classroom experience that can ever truly augment real-world experience. You can't have one without the other, and you also can't succeed in one without the other. But if you can get both of those, great classroom experience at UCM while also augmenting that with real-world experience with an internship, for me, that would be invaluable as a student. And for me, looking back on my career as a student and both as a professional in the entertainment business, that's one of the things that set me up for success. I did an internship with CBS Late Late Show with Tom Snyder, and not only did it get me out in Los Angeles, but it got me into the working environment, and I found that invaluable, and that's the advice I would give to any students, past, present, or future.
Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Jacob Clark.
It was Martin Luther King Day here at the University of Central Missouri, and volunteers were ready to do their part to help around both UCM and Warrensburg. President Charles Ambrose met with the volunteers to encourage and inspire them and to thank them for their selfless service.
Today is a campus-wide commemoration of Martin Luther King Day, and it's not just a day, it's really a week as a part of the university's greater degree of commitment. I'm very proud of our university's commitment and legacy, really, of service, starting back in 2001 when a day off became a day on. And literally, students from across the campus go across the community, provide support to those in need as a part of that legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. And as I had a chance to tell the group this morning, Dr. King said that there was no more persistent or urgent need than what are you doing for others. One of our core commitments as a university is that creation of a culture of service, because if you have a college degree and you want to be really competitive with it, a sense of otherness, building community, working on a team, having a sense that we live in a very multicultural society, UCM has the opportunity to mobilize on one day and take those attributes and kind of live out our mission.
UCM hosted a Freedom Scholarship Dinner in celebration to Dr. Martin Luther King. UCM alumna Beth Tankersley Bankhead was the keynote speaker, where she discussed how she learned the importance of a college education whilst attending UCM. She further states the importance of this dinner.
This community and this campus has been having this dinner for over 20 years to honor Dr. King and his impact on our world, and especially his call for us to serve each other and creating an inclusive environment. And so this scholarship dinner has been held for 20 years, and it raises money to award scholarships to University of Central Missouri students. So while we're honoring Dr. King and his legacy, we're also assisting students with completing a college education. I think every word that Dr. King stated, there's such wisdom in it, there's so many lessons in it. I think really it's a guidebook for how we need to live every day and interact with others and treat others and respect others. So I'm so inspired by his words. They're just so meaningful, and there's such wisdom in them.
One of the Freedom Scholarship winners, Arissa Calvert, was so honoured to receive the scholarship and states what Martin Luther King meant to her.
To be a Martin Luther King Scholarship recipient just makes me understand that people feel where I'm coming from when I speak about justice, when I speak about service, when I speak about equality and all things right and all things empowering. Martin Luther King, he was just such a powerful person in the Black community, and I would like to be an activist, and I would like to live up to the same dream that he has. So it's just a humbling experience. It's a humbling honor. He stood for what he believed in. And as an activist myself, I understand that not everyone is going to agree with what I'm saying, what I'm trying to put forth as far as really empowering the Black community. I know personally sometimes I get attacked and people would disagree with me because I speak so proudly about the Black community that sometimes it's given off wrong to some people for whatever reason. But Martin Luther King, he always just stood his ground. He always stood to his morals. He always made sure that this is my dream, hear my dream, listen to my dream, and I believe that my dream will one day come true. So that's the same way. I'm optimistic and I'm ready.
The Martin Luther King dinner was a success, and guests were left feeling inspired by both the scholarship winners and by Ms. Tankersley Bankhead's speech. Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Gareth Miles Greenfield.
UCM holds an annual intertribe gathering known as the Trading Moon Powwow. We'll give you a behind-the-scenes look.
That's right, and we'll take a look at a group on campus that is celebrating their own culture, as well as a young man who's trying to make a name for himself.
The Native American community threw an event called a powwow, which is a celebration of their culture. I was able to speak with Ed Smith and Keelan Jacobs to understand why the event is brought together.
This is what we call a powwow. It's a contemporary social gathering for American Indian people, like all over the United States and Canada. They do have them kind of all over the world now, service members, things like that. But yeah, it's just a gathering. We'll be singing, dancing. There'll be arts and crafts vendors, food vendors.
Kind of a fun get-together, a social event. It's an opportunity for all the Native people of the surrounding area to get together and kind of celebrate, to have fun, to socialize, to get to know each other. I don't know how much you're aware, but Native Americans throughout the United States represent less than 0.1% of the total population. So opportunities like this are few and far between. So you don't really get to see a whole lot of other natives as a Native American. You know, you typically run into everyone else but your own people.
Although trying to keep the event in its traditional form, I wanted to know what has changed, but what has stayed the same over the years.
My life, as far as these type of gatherings, nothing's really changed too much. I mean, it's probably become larger or more commercialized, I guess, to a certain degree. But overall, the events are essentially the same. They're slightly different up here than where I'm from. This is what you would call kind of a northern style powwow.
There's the continuing the cultures aspect of the different Indian cultures from different tribes. And our young people seeing that this is still a sense of pride for them, that they can be proud of where they come from, but also to kind of like keep that going, to keep it, pass it down.
This was the second year running the event has taken place at UCM, and so we wanted to find out how they get the word out and how the event is moving forward.
Well, nowadays we have social media, so it gets out pretty quick. In the old days, we put out flyers, paper flyers, and we pass them around, and I'll be announcing other dances. When I was younger, you know, the ladies and stuff used to have little pocket calendars, and they'd just sit there, and as the MC was announcing them, they'd be writing it down. And that's kind of how we did it, but it's a lot of word of mouth, advertising at other dances, social media.
I mean, yes, I think so, but it all depends on where you go, you know. If you go to locations where there's typically a lot of powwows, yeah, people are congregating more and more and more, and they're growing.
This is Gemma Ventrice reporting for Lowdown.
Diwali, an Indian festival also known as the Festival of Light, was celebrated with Dipotsav at Hendricks Hall, organised by Sanskriti, UCM's international Indian group. Cultural Secretary and not-so-shabby dancer, Krishna, provides us with an insight of the event and its cultural significance.
Diwali is a festival celebrated in India that's like a festival of lights. So on behalf of that, we are celebrating Dipotsav, which means the lighting. So Dipotsav is celebrated as a cultural night where people come together, perform their talents, and perform together, and food is provided, and people, they love to gather together. Generally, we have some story about why the Diwali is celebrated. It's like one of the god had destroyed evil using the light. So that makes that enlightening the people. So that's the main reason we use lights for Diwali. So that same concept we got it from the Dipotsav. Gathering people together is, I think, it's a big task, and we took lots of support, and many people volunteers, and many people helped us to go through the event. Seeing a lot of people, the whole Hendricks Hall was full, and we were very happy that lots of people came to the event. We're very thankful for University of Central Missouri for giving our platform to celebrate Indian cultures and things. Dipotsav is one of the biggest events in UCM that only little, I think most of the people, they know about Dipotsav, but we want to, everyone from UCM, they want to participate and they just want to come and just have a good fun. So that's the main reason of that, so that they can learn something, what is the culture about Indian.
The event was full of talented singers and dancers. Swati was no exception. She gave us her opinion on the success of Dipotsav and American interest on Indian culture.
once people started coming in, oh my God, they look so beautiful, beautifully dressed. It's not often that we get to see so many Indians wearing all the Indian attires, so it was very beautiful looking at everyone. And then within like just few minutes, the auditorium was full, and people, I think they were really excited because this is our biggest event, and they were looking forward to what events we would have, and we had dinner too. So I think the whole event plus dinner, the whole thing was super exciting for everyone. I've been trained in Indian classical dance for a few years. We have different Indian classical dance forms. So I was trained in a dance form called Kuchipudi. It's from the state of Andhra Pradesh, where I come from. Many Americans are really interested in our culture. Like, if I wear an Indian dress, they're like, oh my God, that's so pretty. Like, what do you call that? Or if I wear earrings like this, they're like, what do you call these earrings? They're so beautiful. If I wear a sari, they're like, oh my God, what is that called? So, and when we dance, like, they love our classical performances, and they're like, what is that dance? It was so beautiful. The way you were moving was so graceful. So I think they really enjoy what we do, what is specific to us Indians, and they love our food too. So they're like, it's spicy, but we love the food. So I think the best thing about them is they are very open to other cultures, and they have really accepted us here. Why I love Deepotsav, I don't get to meet many Indians because we're not in the same class. Like, I don't have any Indians in my class. So events like this are the only times I get to meet like huge number of Indians wearing all their pretty Indian clothes, and maybe in those few moments you forget that you're in a different country. You just becomes home, and you just feel like you have your people here.
With each year, Deepotsav becomes more of a roaring success, and it's entertaining to watch even if you're not from an Indian culture. My advice? Go out and learn about a new culture. I think you'll be amazed. This is Gareth Greenfield reporting for KMOS TV, PBS, Lowdown. International students from all over the globe come to the University of Central Missouri to further their higher education. I sat down with Karis and Carlos to ask about their experiences here at UCM and what it is like to be so far away from their friends and family.
I wanted to come to UCM for an experience more than anything. Since I was little, I've always wanted to go to an American university, just see what the life was like, see how different it was. So by having the opportunity that my university back home gave me to travel, this one sort of popped out the most, and I felt as though it would benefit me the most with my studies. I've met like a vast amount of people here, so I hang out a lot with the other international students, just because we all arrived a week earlier, so we met each other before, and we clicked. So I still hang out with all of those. I also get on really well with the people who live in my building. So I'm in University Conference Centre, one of the campus buildings, and me and a lot of the people, we hang out in the lounge. We do movie nights almost every night. We play board games, we bond, we go out places, we go for food. I think homesickness is something that everyone's going to experience as an international student. As much as you say you're not going to, it's going to be there. You're always going to miss friends and family, especially at the moment. It's quite hard because university's just starting back up back home, so it means that all of my friends are moving back to the city. They're all together, but with technology, Skyping, FaceTime, it means that I'm able to communicate with my friends.
I came to study to UCM because I saw their academic plans. They have many opportunities for technology students, for engineering students, and I found it like a great opportunity to expand myself and get into multicultural into a multicultural environment. In UCM, I'm on technology management. I try to administrate technologies in businesses, try to make automation in most industries, in most like industrial plants. Back in Mexico, I'm a mechatronics engineer, and well, that's mainly it. I control processes, I get automation, and I use like a lot of mechanics and electronics. Americans and Mexicans, we tend to have like very similar values, very similar culture. However, meeting new people from all over the world, that has been the cultural shock. Knowing people from Asia or from Europe, that has been the cultural shock part of the experience. I want to learn many things that I can take back to Mexico, especially in what's related to aeronautics and technology administration. I want to learn like a lot of English to improve my English to make it the most perfect I can. UCM has been like a great decision. I don't regret at all coming here. It's been one of the best decisions I've taken in my life. it's been one of the great experiences. The people here are awesome. The classes, I like them a lot. The university has great facilities, and it's been a great decision being here.
These students are here to represent and teach Americans about their culture, so don't be afraid to ask about their background. This is your favourite foreign student producer, Gareth Miles Greenfield, reporting for Lowdown.
So if you... This is a complete joke, you don't have to record this.
Oh, like we're not.
Oh, okay. No, I was just going to make a joke.
The University of Central Missouri and the Warrensburg area are full of amazingly talented individuals, and former UCM student and current Warrensburg resident Andrew McGarry is no exception.
So my name is Andrew McGarry. I work downtown Kansas City, Missouri at this company called Spring Venture Group. I also own and operate a company called Bare Thread Supply Co., which is a clothing company that I have created from the ground up.
I got to sit down with Andrew on the dawn of his business and fall collection launch and ask him about his newly developed company and how he got started with Bare Threads.
Well, what made me want to start my clothing company is I've always kind of been into like design and more of like fashion and clothing, which growing up as a kid is not something you can really say. I went to college and was a marketing and business major and realized that I kind of like had the fundamentals to like kind of finally kick off what like my actual dream and passion was. And so I like through several weeks, years of thinking, designing, throwing away, coming back and forth, kind of came to a spot of this is like what I like and something that kind of represented me that would also represent other people that can connect to and had a mission statement behind it. So that's how that kind of came to be. And so yeah, it's just always a passion I've had.
I asked how long Andrew has been operating Bare Threads and what it's like running a business solo.
I started Bare Threads unofficially years ago. It wasn't exactly Bare Threads up until about two and a half years ago. And then kind of realized a direction to go with it because I had several designs, but then once I came across the actual like name of Bare Threads, then I kind of pointed everything towards that direction and just kind of took off. I created the entire idea of the company, and then I created all of the like designs, artworks, everything that the company has done up to this point. I've done 100% on my own, but as of about a few weeks to a half a month ago, I introduced a business partner, and they started kind of getting on board and getting some ideas flowing as well.
I also asked Andrew where the inspiration behind his designs and company came from.
I would say my biggest motivation, inspiration is this guy named Olin Rogers, which so he started out as a YouTuber doing stories and was a comedian and things like that, and then later produced a clothing line and has a soda parlor. He has a lot of great things going on for him, but just the character that he is and his whole motivation and goal and mission behind everything he does inspired me a lot, both just normal life, but also the company and kind of certain things that are going about the company are inspired a lot by him.
With the launch of Andrew's fall collection already passed, what can you expect to see if you went onto the website today?
So for the fall collection, there's going to be things like shirts, both short, long sleeve, but there's also going to be hoodies, as far as sweatshirts, pullovers, zip-ups, things like that. And then also there's going to be different accessory items, as far as stickers, patches, and then maybe a couple other things coming. Not entirely sure yet, but those are general things they'll find on the website. There are going to be some cool things rolling onto the website coming December after it's launched.
In closing, we asked Andrew what it feels like to be so close to the launch of his business and fall collection.
So being this close is a multitude of feelings, both extremely stressful and things of that nature, but also one of the coolest and most exciting feelings that I've pretty much ever had, because this is my own personal journey that I get to share with the world, and that I've worked countless hours and had so many setbacks, but getting to this point is kind of just this overwhelming, incredible feeling of just excitement. So yeah, and coming up next Friday from now, it's just, yeah, it's one of the most exciting times that I've had. Back to the mission statement of the entire company is be bold, live free. So whatever it is you want to do in life, just like truly like live it and do it.
Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Jacob Clark. Hey there, kids. Look who it is. Our not-so-favorite knucklehead, Tim. It's been a while, Tim. Tim is taking notes, which seems fine, but he's only writing in one color. Oh, silly Tim. To maximize Tim's note-taking effectiveness, he should use different colored pens. This will help him recall and remember important information for his tests and other class activities. No more failed tests for you, Tim. Tune in next time to see what Tim will do wrong next.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have tonight. But don't fear, our show in its entirety and individual segments can be found on our KMOS TV YouTube page.
Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Brock Masters.
And I'm Ranjanae Hill. Good night. Yeah, no, and then I used to look at Rick like this. Yeah. Like the first episode.
Okay.
So don't do that either. Well, I'm shorter. Don't look at me like this.